So let's start with this first one. So we call this stepping up. We've now done all that basic stuff, and now we really are going to see how we can get even better marks in maths. Okay, so that's why we do some of these more complex questions, because they really prepare us for what's coming in the exam. So you know, those questions in the exam are always the tricky ones that make you think. So we're going to do some of those. Okay, right. So let's read. Okay, and remember, like how last week we had our reading emoji. So let's read, and when you're done reading, post your reading face so that I know everyone's finished reading and I can maybe start doing a bit of explaining.
Miss Marlies, could I ask if you could zoom in just a little bit? Because I know I'm having trouble reading it, so maybe others are having trouble reading as
Okay.
well.
I hope you can see that now.
And then can we move it down a little bit, because the sentence starts with will land at point B. There we go. There we go. Much better. Thank you so much.
Anything else I can do for you, Miss Coco?
No, I have notes after, but no, I'm kidding. Thank you.
Okay, remember the whole participation thing, everyone. So when we are asking for emojis, post them, please. Okay. We can still not read your emojis. They are still showing up as question marks on my side. Okay, so we have a jet at K flying over point A on the ground at a height of 6 kilometers. It will land at point D. The angle of depression from K to D is 11 degrees. T is a point along the route from A to D. Answer the questions that follow, round answers to 2 decimal places. Okay, so the first thing that I would say we should do is, let me just get some nicer colors here. Let's see, what color should we work in this evening? Sure, so many to choose from. Okay, let's take the red. I do like red for some reason. Okay, so the first thing I would do is remembering that these lines are parallel and the arrows already show that. So I would say that this is 11 degrees as well, because the angle of elevation and the angle of depression, because of the parallel lines, they are equal. So that's actually the first question. What is the size of KDA? And that is going to be 11 degrees. Okay. Right, now we are going to determine the distance from K to D. And I'm wondering which Watobian can tell me. Any ideas how we are going to do that? We do have to, important, always check that all the information from what is written is also showing on your sketch. So there's a part of the information here that's not showing, which is that the height of the jet, so AK, that is 6 meters. And that is not showing on your sketch, because you're really going to work with your sketch. You're not going to keep checking back to the words. So always make sure everything is on your sketch. Okay, so which Watobian can tell me which trig ratio we are going to use to solve for the distance from K to D? Portia and Monica both saying sin, and for Misa as well. Okay, so sure, these Watobians are really on fire this evening. Okay, so let's label our sides. So if we are working in triangle KAD, then this is going to be my hypotenuse, and AD is going to be my adjacent, and this is going to be the opposite. So I totally agree. We are going to use sin because it's the opposite, and the hypotenuse. Okay, everyone go for it. Solve for the distance from K to D using sin of our angle, which is 11 degrees. Post your answer in the chat as soon as you've got it. Let's get some more answers, everyone. We are rounding to 2 decimal places. Well done. Well done, everyone. Okay, so we are going to times by KD. And then we're going to get KD by itself. And that's going to be sine of 11. So 6 divided by that gives me 31,45. Okay, I'm just going to rub out this here. And remember, as you go, fill in the measurements that you find, because now you know it's there. And you are probably going to use it as you progress through the questions. So if the distance of TD is 18 kilometers, so this distance here is 18 kilometers, calculate the distance of AT. I wonder. Have a look and put your hand up if you have an idea of how we are going to solve for AT. Put your hand up if you want to tell us how to solve for AT. Yes, Monica, go for it.
I'm sorry, Monica, that was me. I lowered your hand. Could you please put your hand up again? I will unmute you this time. I'm very sorry. I don't know. My fingers are just not doing the right thing today. Hi, Monica.
Evening, ma'am. It's fine. For me, it's easier to calculate AD first, and then minus AD minus TD, meaning to find AD, I'm going to use 10.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Monica. So Monica is saying, let's calculate AD first. So 2.1.3. And then she's going to say AD minus TD will give me AT. And I think that's a really good idea, because we can't really go to triangle KAT, to this triangle here. Side AT is in that triangle, but we don't have enough information to actually use that triangle. We've got a side, but we're missing angles, and there just isn't enough information to actually work in that triangle. So if you were thinking of using triangle AT, that is why we are not going that route. But we can definitely solve for AD in the bigger triangle, in triangle KAD. So let's do that. And Monica said we are going to use, I think we need to, I don't think we're going to use tan, Monica. I think we are going to use the opposite and the hypotenuse. I think we're going to use sine of 11. Choose AD. Am I right, Ms. Coco? Yep, I think that's right.
Would it not be cos, because we'd need the adjacent?
Sorry, yes, we need the adjacent, and we have the opposite and the hypotenuse. You're right. That was a little brain glitch on my side.
No, no.
Okay. Tandil, have you got some thoughts as well that you want to share?
Hi.
Hello.
I was wondering if we could find KT first before we instead of finding AD as a whole, because we do have KD and TD, so maybe we can find KT.
How will you find KT?
So I'll find KT using KD and TD.
Okay, think carefully about that one, because we can only use trigonometry in right angle triangles. So if you are using a triangle KDT, that is not a right angle triangle, if I understand you correctly.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, you see.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Can we also use tan, since we want the adjacent and we have the opposite? Yes, so we can use tan. You're right. We can use tan, and we can also use cos. Okay, so Tioma says Pythagoras' theorem. Yeah, we can do that too. Many options here. Yeah, we can do AD using Pythagoras, because we've just worked out KD and AK. AK was given. Okay, so, well, it looks like you guys have got this covered, because you've given me 3 options here already. So, right. Let's take a minute to calculate AD. I'm sure some of you have done it already. I'm gonna use trig. I just prefer trig, Miss Coco. It's so much quicker. Not yet, Mvoyo. I want everyone to just get a chance to think. Okay. Yes, Ria, you can.
I use trig too, ma'am, because it gives me an excuse to use my calculator. Like
to press some buttons.
Yeah, calculating things with decimals makes me feel nice inside. So yes.
Nothing like a bit of decimal work to make the day brighter. Okay, wait, I must concentrate. So, but it looks like these grade 10s have got this covered. Hey, maybe we can just go and have dinner, ma'am, and let them.
I
just
feel
leave
like
the lesson up and.
Yeah, we can just pick any random one of you guys, and you guys can teach the class. I feel like, at this point.
Okay.
Very well done, guys.
This is our opposite. This is our adjacent, and we are going to use tan. Okay, I'll go with tan. What is the 18 about? Now we're going to use it just now, Tioma, when we are going to calculate AT. We're first finding AD. The question wants us to find AT. So we're first finding AD. So tan of 11 is 6 over AD. I should have gone with cos, because then AD would have been at the top, and that's easier. Okay, right, everyone, post your answers for AD. Let's see how this is going. We've had lots of jokes in between now, so let's hope everyone is still on track. I just want the answer for AD, okay? Yeah, I agree. We've got 30,87. And then we can use that to calculate the original question, which is 80. And for that, we're just going to go 30,87 minus 18 is 80. Great, everyone. That is really nice. Okay, so let's go on to 2.14. 2.1.4, calculate the angle of elevation from point T 2-point K. So I'm just going to fill in here that we now know what AT is. 12,87. Okay, so let's calculate the angle of elevation from point T to point K. And they're talking about this angle here, because if you're standing here at T and you're looking up at K, that will be the angle of elevation. So now that we've got two sides in triangle AKT, that is the name of the triangle, then we can now calculate that angle. I'm losing my ability to speak this evening. Grade 10s are very serious, Miss Coco. They are not laughing at our jokes at all.
And I love nerdy maths jokes, Miss Marlies. I just
Akite.
love it. Akite. Yep.
Oh, thanks. Sian was finally laughing at us. Okay, so Isa, when we are solving for angles, we are solving for an angle, guys. Read carefully. Calculate the angle of elevation from point T to K. So we can't, yeah, so Pythagoras is no use for angles, okay? We can only use Pythagoras for sides. So it's okay, Isa. We've had Akite and now Pythagoras to solve for angles. So it's one of those evenings. Go for it, Sandesile. Sandesile has had enough of all of this and she wants to post answers. Go. Let's see. We're using tan. Okay, I'm going to do it on the side here. Check your rounding, guys. Some of you are saying 25. Some of you are saying 24.99. We need to come to an agreement here. So for angle T, we're going to do the opposite over the adjacent. So that's 6 over 12,87. And that is tan. Shift tan 6 over 12.57. Oh, it's 8.7. Yeah, so it's 24.99. 24.99, please round to 2 decimal places. So those of you who have said 25, it must be 24.99. But well done, everyone. That was a nice question, I think. Typical exam question. They love asking it this way. Okay, but now wait. Here is my favorite question. I hope you guys are now warmed up and awake. We're going to do this question now. Okay, a cat is sitting on a table that is 2 meters from the floor. Above the cat is a bird in a bird cage with an elevation angle of 46 degrees and 5 meters from the floor. On the floor is a mouse sitting with a depression angle of 52 degrees. Answer the questions that follow below. Okay, so I'm going to keep quiet for about 30 seconds to give you a chance to read and wrap your head around this question. Ms. Coco asked that, can everyone see? If you can't see, just let us know, we'll zoom in. Or you can, if you're on your phone, you can also zoom in on your screen.
Not that kind of depression, Siamo. Not the sad depression.
No,
Other
it's the
kind of-
angle of depression. But Tioma, we just had you smiling now, so look, that cat does not look sad. That cat has got a mouse and a bird that he is about to catch. So that cat is smiling all the way. For Misa knows the drill already. They are posting their reading glasses to say that they are done. Thanks. Portia as well. Well done, everyone. Okay. Now let's start. I actually don't want to give this away. I feel like you guys should try this on your own, but I also feel like I should help you a little bit. Okay. A cat is sitting on the table. Let's go with orange this time. Cat is sitting on a table that is 2 meters from the floor. So let's fill that measurement in first. That is going to be 2 meters. That's AB. AB is 2. Above the cat is a bird in a bird cage with an elevation angle of 46. So this is 46. So the cat is looking up at Mr. Bird over there. The bird is 5 meters from the floor. Okay, so this is, one has to read this quite carefully because the bird is 5 meters from the floor. So the total distance from E to C, I'm going to do this, that is 5 meters from bird to floor. On the floor is a mouse sitting with a depression angle of 52 degrees. So this angle here, the cat is looking down at the mouse. That is 52 degrees. And we can straight away fill in this angle of the mouse looking up at the cat. That is 52 degrees as well, because of the angles of elevation and the angles of depression. Answer the questions that follow. 2 decimal places we need again. Okay, so the first distance we need to determine is the distance between the cat and the bird. Does anyone have an answer yet? What is the distance between the cat and the bird? First, tell me which distance are we going to work out? Which length is the distance between the cat and the bird? Monica, if you don't mind, I'm going to just see if someone else wants to answer the question. AE, there we go. Thank you so much. Azaria, well done. Yenzi, all of you got it. Sandisile, we are going to first calculate AE. All right, go for it, everyone. Calculate AE. And I think I'm also going to leave you to figure out which trig ratio to use. I think you all know how to do that. Right. Hold your answers for a little bit. Sunday City, I put the 5 there because it says that the distance, where is it? Above the cat is a bird in a bird cage with an angle of an elevation angle of 46 and 5 meters from the floor. So the bird is 5 meters from the floor. So that distance EC is 5 meters. Okay, so hold answers, everyone. We will check in and see what you got for AE. And if you are happy with what you are doing, carry on, go to question 2.3.2 as well. Determine the distance between the cat and the mouse. Portia, let's just hold answers for a second. I just want everyone to get a chance to think and give everyone a chance to do it. No problem, Portia. No, Zimamkele. So ED is not 5. EC is 5. But remember that AB is 2. So that's going to help you get the distance of ED. Cat to mouse, Monica. Yes, that is AC. Okay. Okay, 1 more minute, everyone. If you are done with the question, just put a thumbs up in the chat. If you are done. With both questions for the mouse and the bird. So 2.3.1 and 2.3.2. Don't post answers yet. Just can't wait. Okay, good stuff. Lots of people are finished. Our minute is almost okay. There we go. No problem for me, sir. Okay, so let's have a look. So just to be sure that distance of ED is 3 because the total distance is 5 and AB is 2, so ED is 3. And we are indeed going to use sine of 46 to do opposite over hypotenuse for AE, the distance between the mouse and the, sorry, this has moved, so it is looking a little bit demakor. Let me just try and put it on a different page. That's better. Okay, so AE is going to be 4.17 and AC is 2.54. For both of those, we are using sine. So for AC, we do opposite over hypotenuse of 52, and that comes to 2.54. Okay, who got both of them right? If you got both right, give me 2 thumbs up. If you got one right, just give me 1 thumbs up. Both right. Well done, everyone. Sure. Excellent. Nice one. Okay. Wonderful, everybody. Okay, so we are going to carry on. Let's do some more. You guys are so on fire. I am definitely, let's do some more. Yeah, let's do this one. I'm going to have to go and find some harder problems, Ms. Coco.
Yeah, I don't think we're challenging them enough. I think we should find something a little harder.
Okay, so I think this is going to be our last one for the evening. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go back and explain why ED is 3. That's because the total distance from the ground, from C to E, is 5. But this distance, maybe I should do this. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Okay, so that total distance is 5, and that is E to C. And this distance is where the cat is sitting. That is A to B. That's 2. So the remaining distance, this bit, must be 3 because the total is 5. Okay, let us know if that makes sense, Simon Kele. Okay, here we go. Last one for the evening before we do our quiz. I'm going to leave you to it and hold answers again, guys, and then we'll post them at the end. I just want everyone to get a chance to think. Thanks for all the questions. Keep the questions coming, everyone. Siyabonga, today's quiz. You must please wait till the end of the lesson, eh? So next time, please wait. Don't do it during the lesson. Just please wait until the end of the lesson to do it. She just couldn't wait. It was just too appealing. But try the question that's on the board now. It's Gago, could you maybe assist Sanele with the screen? Guys, it's not, the question is asking for PS. The length of PR is 38. So the whole distance of PR is 38. PS is the shorter bit that you have to find, very similar to that first question we did with the jet. Okay, just because of, in the interest of time, I am going to start the question. And it's just, you have to read this bit quite carefully. The angle of depression of Q from P is 42,8, 42,3. So that angle is 42,3, and because of angles of elevation, depression, and the parallel lines, this whole angle will be 42,3 as well. So Tiamo seems to be having the same issue with the blank screen, Miss Coco. So if you could also maybe assist him. Okay, so we're going to start by first solving for PR.
Ma'am, I think Tiamo meant I'm blank as in she doesn't know where to start the question.
Oh.
I think that's good.
You're... Sorry, Tiamo. Okay. Tiamo, start with what is given. Okay, so what is given is the fact that this is the angle of depression. So just start filling in some things. Then look, okay, we've got the whole of PR. PR is made up of two line sections. It's made up of PS and SR. Now, this is like an equation. So if we know what PR is, then we can solve for the other two, okay? So that's basically what it comes down to. And we are in this question looking for PS. So if we've got PR, that's 18. PS we don't know, but that's the one we need. And then SR, can we figure out what SR is? We can figure out. No, SR is not 38. The arrow shows here, this distance here, that PR is 38. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Tandalmeter. We are just misunderstanding each other this evening. But thanks for that. Okay, so SR, we can figure out. How are we going to figure out SR? We can figure out SR. No, that's me. Sorry, Zimamkela. I made a mistake. It's meant to be 38, not 18. Okay. So SR, can we calculate SR? So we can try, but we don't have enough information for SR because in triangle QSR, we only have an angle and no sides. So we have to start first by calculating maybe QR, because if we find QR, then we can find SR. So we go to the bigger triangle, PQR, and we solve for QR. So we're going to say PR over PQ is tan of 42,3 degrees. And PR is 38. Okay, so you see what I said earlier, start with what is given. And it's the given stuff that you are going to use to find, to solve for other unknown things. Okay, so for sorry, that's not PQ, it's QR. PR over QR. Okay, so then we rearrange and we get QR by itself. So QR times tan 42,3 is equal to 38. And then QR is 38 over tan 42,3. And we get an answer there. You should get 41,76. That's right. Okay, and then now we've got QR. We can use that in the smaller triangle to solve for SR. Now I'm going to do it next door here. So we're going to say SR over QR is tan of 27,9. We get SR. We've solved for QR now. QR we said was the 41,76. So we can times by 41,76 times by tan 27,9. And then SR is equal to 22,11. And now we go back to this first calculation where we said, well, SR plus PS must give me PR. So we can subtract SR. So we can go 38 minus 22,11 is going to give me PS. And that is 15,89.